Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. In today's episode we're a little bit different because I'm going to be showing you a brand new product, and that is the new steering guard from Mantec called the Black Edition. This isn't actually the complete version. One of the really key elements that we've introduced onto the new steering guard are these ballistic polymer guards. Now these are designed to absorb impact, deform if necessary, but they're also frictionless. So if you're taking your vehicle off-road, or if you hit something that's very hard like a rock, rather than put a massive dent and actually gouge and hang up on your steering guard, you're basically going to deform this and glide off it, because this is designed to take and absorb those impacts, so you're not sending any of that energy through the steering guard and into the chassis, into the bolts, potentially causing damage. The design of these, and you have 4 of these on the front, is to absorb the impact for you for the big impacts. Now with these in place, you do get a much more aggressive look on your vehicle, and it's definitely more modern, and I think that's something that was really missing from steering guards. For the last 20 years, steering guards have looked exactly the same, except some people have put some holes in them. There's no difference, whereas we've changed the design but also made it so that it has a practical purpose. These are designed for purpose and they look fantastic. So you'll see here that we've actually now got blackened marine grade A4 stainless button head bolts to actually assemble everything together. So when we did the prototype, we just got some off-the-shelf bolts, which is why in some of the other clips on this video you'll see they're silver, but actually when it's delivered and you fit it to your vehicle, you'll get a full set of these blackened stainless A4 marine grade bolts. So it all adds up to some really nice quality. These talons are actually CNC machined, they're not molded, and the logo obviously is machined in as well. And the design is there to take these countersunk bolts so you get a really nice, smooth, clean finish when they're mounted. The original steering guard from Mantec was designed for the Camel Trophy vehicles back in sort of the early 90s, and they were a very similar design to this, but they're essentially a 2-piece design. So the actual bash plate itself here, the steering guard plate, was made out of aluminium, which is really expensive and very hard to work with. And it had a lip at the top here that faced outwards because it had to allow for the winch bumper that was fitted to those vehicles, which is why you get some people who fit the original one on their vehicle without a winch bumper, and there's a gap between the steering guard plate and the bumper. There's a few key elements. It's anchored onto the vehicle chassis in more points. It's actually a lot wider, so most steering guards will only be about this wide. So you get the additional width, the additional protection, if you like, under your vehicle. So to keep costs down and actually make it a lot easier to fit, what I've done is actually change the design from a 1-piece brace into a 3-piece. So these 2 end plates bolt onto the main plate at the front, and then this support plate bolts onto that main plate, giving it additional strength but also supporting the outside guides, if you like, the outside plates. Everything you see here is laser cut, and it's all made here in the UK. Now this is regular steel and it's powder coated. However, the actual plate itself, this plate is Hardox 300 steel. Now Hardox is the steel that you use to make digger buckets, so it's incredibly strong, it's incredibly resistant to corrosion, but not only that, we've zinc plated this actual cover itself before a nice thick high quality powder coat finish. So that gives you an idea of pretty much how everything's put together. So the price of this is about £150 less than the original Mantec with the aluminium steering guard. Now you might still want that original one because you might be doing, I don't know, a restoration of a Camel Trophy vehicle, or you want to do an homage to a Camel Trophy vehicle, you want the original Mantec parts, and that is fine, you can do that because we still sell the originals, but this has been designed to be more affordable, more accessible for people, and look better. Now let me show you what these look like when they're fitted and when this is fitted to the vehicle. Okay, I'm doing this for you guys because I want you to see just how tight the tolerances are and how nicely fitted this is. The chassis leg extends here, and there's a 2mm gap between the actual plate and the chassis leg. Now that is actually adjustable because most of the holes for the mounting plates are slotted, so you've got plenty of movement. Now the really beautiful thing about this steering guard is it's so easy to fit. So getting the side plates fitted first is super easy, and if you want to see a fitting guide of the original steering guard, it gives you an idea of how everything's put together. But basically you utilise the bolts here that you'd have your tie down eyes off, and then there's a new bolt that you can put in this side. Now on the other side, it's actually used for your steering rack, and getting that bolt out can be really tricky. But the nice thing is, again, with this kit, you get all brand new stainless hardware. So it's the stainless hardware is made by YRM. It's one of the best bits of kit that we offer as far as hardware goes. Every nut and bolt and washer is stainless steel, and it's all rated to the right load rating, the right strength, so you've got nothing to worry about there. We use these spaces here to allow us to actually mount the plates on the outside of the chassis itself, and that allows us to get that much wider profile. So you're actually protecting quite a lot, and you've probably got a good chance of protecting suspension as well, whereas normal steering guards end about here. So you're getting a lot more meat for your money, if you like. Right, moving over to these guards. So these are called talons, and you get 4 of them in a kit. You can buy the steering guard with or without the talons. I'd recommend with, but that's my personal preference because that's how I've designed the actual steering guard itself. So with these talons in place, they're all replaceable. So if you have a really major impact and one of these gets deformed really badly, you can just buy a replacement and it comes with everything you need just to fit it straight back on again. There's minimal, absolutely minimal chance that you're going to bend this steering guard because it is so robust. But these will just help protect it, keep it looking fresh, and keep it looking aggressive. So as I said before, mounting it's super easy because all you have to do is just put these 2 plates on first, and you fit them loosely, don't do them up too tight. Now, you would then assemble the outer plate and the inner plate together first, and then you'd offer it up. Now, it's really heavy, so you do need 2 people. And that's what I said before, there are 2 elements to this installation. So you want to basically have one person supporting this, while the other person just puts these 2 bolts in, one there and one there, and then it will just hang free and it's supported, self-supported, and then you can just put the rest of the bolts in and you could nip everything up. And that's it. Now, if you're just mounting this for occasional use, you're not going into some really severe, rugged territory, you only actually have to have it mounted on these 2 fixing points on both sides. We do offer an additional fixing point at the top here. The only issue that can be is if you've got a very old vehicle, getting that bolt out on the other side, or the driver's side, if you're an American, you've got a left-hand drive vehicle, getting that bolt out there at the top can be really tricky. So we've allowed a space in the actual bracket so you don't have to remove that bolt if you don't want to, and that is perfectly substantial to take all the blows that you could want. Now, the steering guard is definitely one of those things that some people are going to love and some people are just not going to be into it because it is very different. But I like it because it's reminiscent of, say, the old Hummers that used to have this, and I think aesthetically I was going for something that looked a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more in keeping with a modern Land Rover. And I think this is just a nice little touch, but you know, you might not be into it, but let me know if you are. Really want to get some comments to see whether people are into this design or not. A lot of thought went into whether or not we had these heavily branded, whether we'd offer them in different colours. So there's loads of options moving forwards if people are into it. And not only that, if you didn't want to have a black one, because this is nicely powder coated, you can paint over that any colour you want. So if you want it to be body colour, you can do that, and then these will actually be highlighted, so it'll look really neat. So that is the new Mantec Black Edition steering guard. It's available now for around £175, I believe, plus tax, which is really good value because you're going to be paying about 130, 140 pounds for just a really basic, cheap, nasty steering guard off eBay. So why not get yourself something really durable? If you like what you see, there's a link below where you can get one. Now, we've only got 5 of them available with the talons because we're waiting for those to arrive. We've got 50 in stock of the standard steering guards. That's our first delivery. Those are all available, and out of those we can do 5 initially with the talons, and the balance of those is going to be ready in about October when we're going to get the full delivery of these talons. So if you're looking for one of these, you have to be super quick. Click on the link and grab one now. I'd be so chuffed if this was a good seller because I've put a lot of time and effort and personal, input into this design, and I'm really pleased with it. So hopefully you like it too. Now, if you do like it, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any other new products, because we are working on quite a few, and I'll catch you on the next one.